Got my eyes straight ahead, got my head in the game. With the red light on, I'm just waiting for the change. Keep my head down low.
We have had another failure within Queensland Police, and we've seen Police Minister Mark Ryan make an apology. Before I get into the report, I just want to refresh your memory, in case you've forgotten, on past performances by Queensland Police Minister Mark Ryan. Still can't believe he's the police minister. Still can't believe he hasn't been booted out. Please get him voted out of the next election. Unfortunately, he's still the police minister. I think he sees the writing on the wall. He knows he'll be booted. Hopefully he will. Anyway, just to refresh your memory before I get into the report, remember what he said about because he's got no respect for police in general and no respect for anyone that stands up against him for justice, for right, because when he was wrong, he just says, hey, who cares? We'll just get new police. So remember this.
We can even graduate more recruits if we need to. So there's sufficient resources there.
So there you go. I just wanted to remind you of what Mark Ryan said a couple of years ago when, they were having issues with recruiting police because both he and former police commissioner Katarina Carroll had so much disdain for the officers that were actually police, were serving at the time, that anyone who said, well, no, we don't want to get the jab, and it's now been proven in court that shouldn't have happened. But anyone who came against them and said, no, we don't want to get the jab, or they said, we don't really care what you think, what you believe. We don't care about you. We don't support you as people, as police. Mark Ryan stands up and says, we'll just get new ones. Easy peasy. Just get new police. Mark Ryan, I'm not going to say any more because it'll just be disparaging. I don't want to be that person. Anyway, we've got to talk about this other story that's come up the last week, and Queensland Police continuing to fail. But you've got to look at the leadership within Queensland Police. It all starts at the top. I think a lot of it comes back to who we've been recruiting, the types of people we've been recruiting over the last probably decade, and also the leadership, inability to lead, not holding the right people accountable, trying to spread the blame. And when it's funny because they will really target some people and put all their blame, like what happened with the mandates. Okay. They came down on police officers who did not believe in the mandates, who did not believe in getting the jab, and treated them like criminals, opened investigations, treating these people like criminals, questioning them as if they were criminals. Yet when it's other things that may make the organization not look good, not reflect well on the organization, then it's then it's kind of playing, how do you say it, like trying to be a bit of a magician and taking the focus on one hand. Hey, look at this hand, don't look at the other hand that's actually doing the magic trick and deceiving you. Let's get into the story. This is about domestic violence, domestic victims within Queensland who again have been let down by Queensland Police. And what have Queensland Police done? Well, they haven't accepted responsibility properly. And in my humble opinion, this is a reflection on poor leadership within Australia, within law enforcement within Australia. We see so many stories, police leadership failing you and I, the community, the people they're supposed to serve. So, and very much failing their own officers at times. And we see here, okay, let's bring this up. Picture of Mark Ryan, probably, in my opinion, the worst police minister we have had for a generation, or two, or three, who knows? This headline: domestic violence victims addresses sent to offenders by Queensland Police in major blunder. State government apologised for data system breach as victim says it left her completely defeated, broken, scared, and worried. There he is, Mark Ryan. He says he's sorry, very sorry. That'll help her. The addresses of domestic violence victims have been shared with offenders by Queensland Police, including a vulnerable woman. Now, if you have been the victim, I've got to say, when you're involved with, when you see domestic violence up close and personal from a police officer, I remember when I was in on the beats, just in GDs, general duties policing. You know, there's a lot of fault that can be put in both camps at times. But so often you would see victims, genuine victims. You could tell that they were a victim of the cycle of domestic violence, and so many times they couldn't see the way out. And you have to tip your cap. You have to take your hat off to the ones that were able to dig themselves out of that vicious cycle of domestic violence. Anyway, let's go on with this story. The addresses of domestic violence victims have been shared with offenders by Queensland Police. So the state government apologised on Thursday after it emerged a woman felt completely defeated when her personal information was exposed by the serious data breach. The Premier, Stephen Miles, confirmed addresses of victims in at least 5 matters, including domestic violence cases, had been sent to offenders by police, sparking a review. A victim said she was told by police to move. Just go up and move. Hey, we all know it's very easy to move addresses. It's extremely easy. Whew. Sometimes you've got to wonder about the thought process of these people, bureaucrats. So she was just told, hey, get up and move, after her address was shared by the computer issue, the opposition revealed on Thursday. Now, let me give you a little bit of insight into Queensland Police Services. They say, oh, it was a computer issue. There would have been, I guarantee, I'd bet a peanut butter sandwich that, because I love peanut butter sandwiches, I would bet you that there's no computer issue without a human element. There's someone behind it who's just had a bit of a brain explosion. There's a human element, but yet it's blamed on computer issues, because in this day and age, QPS have done this for a long time. It's a computer issue. I remember when I was back, even in GDs, you would hear, oh, this is a computer issue. You said, well, someone had to be pressing the buttons. The computer's not just operating by itself and saying, whoa, let's just do this. There was a human element there. Someone's there hitting send. Someone's there saying, oh, let's add this person in. Someone's there saying, this is a good idea, without thinking. But QPS don't like to reveal the human elements if it reflects too badly on them, unless there's something good, unless they see the benefit for themselves. That's what happened with the mandates. They thought they were on the right side they would be on the right side of history. And now Mark Ryan, worst police minister ever in the history of Queensland, is still here. Now it's looking bad for him. Anyway, police allegedly later organised for CCTV cameras to be installed at her house, because that'll help. That's the kind of rubbish that people do. Anyway, keep going, Jason. A letter to the victim from the police minister's office, crikey, showed the matter had been referred to the corruption watchdog. The opposition victim support spokesperson Laura Gerber claimed the office of the police minister, Mark Ryan, worst police minister ever in the history of Queensland, organised for the CCTV to be set up at the victim's house. That's not so we can actually help and organise. Let's not put security outside the house. Let's just have CCTV set up at the house so we can document the crime if and when it actually happens. So at least then we've got the evidence to say, oh yeah, it happened. And referred to the matter to the Crime and Corruption Commission. Yeah, they're helpful. The Labor government said it first heard about the data breach after a media inquiry in July. Data breach where someone pressed the button, said, this is a good idea, let's send it. But the Liberal National Party opposition accused the government of knowing about it for months. It said the victim, who claimed police told her to relocate before installing CCTV, had contacted Ryan on multiple occasions between March and May. Multiple occasions. Worst police minister ever. Knew about it for months, didn't act. I feel completely defeated, broken, scarred, and worried, her email said to the police, to the minister. But Ryan said every complaint that came through his office was referred to police. It's not correct to say that matters weren't acted upon, because every matter follows a very rigorous, comprehensive, and serious process. Oh, said the worst police minister in Queensland's history, Mark Ryan. The man who said, when, he screwed over him, and former police commissioner Katarina Carroll just screwed over all those police that didn't agree with the mandate. He said, hey, we'll just get new ones, because he's got no flipping idea on what it takes to recruit and train good police. No idea. No idea. Yet another example of the Queensland government, of the Queensland Police, of the Minister for Queensland Police Service failing. Leadership in this nation, in this state, in our Queensland Police Service consistently continues to fail the community that they're supposed to serve. And we've got, watch your tongue, Jay. We've got people like the Honourable Mark Ryan supposedly serving this community. Please vote him out. Deplorable. Worst police minister ever in the history of this state. That is just my opinion. I am Jay Fallon, and you've been listening to The Slippery Slope.
And say it isn't real, and please don't go away. Just give me one more day. What if I could turn back time? I'd make you smile again. And if I could unbreak your heart, and we could start again. What if I could turn back time? I'd make you smile again. And if I could